Kakadosh Boker or Bekiim Bahalacha, day 2, day 45. We're on page 150, Halacha number Lamed 38. One should avoid bringing food, any food or beverages, into a restroom, even if they're in a sealed container. The restroom may not be used as a storage room for canned goods. If food was taken into a restroom, however, it still may be eaten, even if it would not be a great loss to throw it out. If someone has food in his pocket and he has nowhere to put it, when he goes into the restroom, he may enter the restroom even though the food is in his pocket. If unwrapped fruit was taken into the restroom, it should afterwards be rinsed 3 times before anyone eats it. If the food item is one that cannot be rinsed, so then may be eaten the way that it is. Anyone who refrains from eating food has been taken to the restroom, however, will receive a blessing. Okay, let's go. Restroom, let's see, number 153. The Rishon LeZion, he cited the Shalmei Tzibur, right, ruling that harmful forces that reside in the restroom infects a person's hands, but it does not infect, right? He says it does not infect the water taken into the restroom. Rav Chaim Falache and Rav Yosef Chaim, however, maintain that the harmful forces do infect the water or any food taken into the restroom, rendering them forbidden. This was explained in the Yalkut Yosef. In the response of Yabia Omer Maran Rishon LeZion, he ruled that if the food is wrapped, it may be eaten after it's removed from the restroom. If it's not wrapped, it should be rinsed 3 times to remove the harmful forces from it. If this is not possible, we may rely on the opinion of Shalmei Tzibur, who ruled that the harmful forces do not infect the foods taken into the restroom. Besides, some Achronim ruled that in modern times, no harmful spiritual forces exist. In any case, if the adults refrain from eating these foods and instead they feed them to the little children, they will receive a special blessing from heaven. The harmful forces may harm people who are obligated in mitzvah, but not harm children. If someone chooses to be altogether lenient about this, it's fine. There's yet another basis for leniency. Some poskim rule that modern-day restrooms, in which the toilet is flushed after each use, do not have the status of a washroom, right, of a restroom. See the response to Yechavedat. Okay? Fine. Next, a pocket filled with candies. It is common for an elementary school teacher to carry around a supply of candies in his pocket to distribute to the students for good behavior, spur them to study well. What is it to do when he goes to the restroom? Based on our discussion, it is clear that even if he would leave them in his pocket, it would still be permissible because each one is wrapped up, besides being hidden in his pocket. Furthermore, since the candies are earmarked for children and not for adults, so therefore there's a stronger basis for leniency. Nevertheless, there are reasons to rule that the candy remains permissible if it was to be taken into a restroom, but there are not reasons to allow the teacher to take them into a restroom in the first place. It is much better that these teachers take care to deposit candy somewhere before entering the restroom. If they cannot, however, they may enter it with the candy in their pockets. In any case, the candy remains permitted, meaning afterwards anyway, it's going to be permitted. What about nursing an infant? So Rav Akiva cited in Yalkut Yosef, he cited in the Aruch stating, right, that the woman must nurse her child immediately after exiting a restroom. It seems, so that means she must not nurse it. It seems logical to say that she must wait at least 18 minutes, just as the Hechal instructed going to wait 18 minutes after having marital relations before she nurses her infant. I see the Mishabrad, right? The response or Yitzchak, he ruled that since our restrooms are clean and sanitary, it is permissible immediately after the restroom to nurse the child. What about nursing an infant in a restroom? So it's common for a mother who's not at home to go into a restroom and to nurse her child there in complete privacy. Logic dictates that this is not considered taking foods into the restroom since her milk goes directly into the infant's mouth from her, giving the harmful forces no opportunity to infect the milk. Besides, it is the child who's eating, not an adult. Chaim Kanievsky ruled that as well as technically permissible for a woman to nurse her infant in the restroom, but she should avoid it if possible. And the Kornei Mano, however, ruled that a woman should always avoid it right in a restroom. Explaining there are harmful forces there, she may be lenient only in an emergency situation. One might argue that it might be forbidden to nurse an infant in the restroom. After all, the Lechat demands that a woman, right, who's been in a restroom must not nurse her child immediately afterwards. If so, for sure it's prohibited in the restroom itself, right? In answer to this, Chaim Kanievsky suggests that it's forbidden only if the mother actually used the restroom. But if she just entered to nurse, it's permitted. This agreement seems faulty, however. The Shulchan Aruch ruled that the harmful spirits in the restroom infect anyone who enters it, not only somebody that relieves themselves. Therefore, it's recommended not to rely upon this leniency unless you don't have another chance. Like you don't have another choice, basically. 39. In Israel, many homes are constructed with a utility room located outside the bathroom. The utility room is meant for a laundry machine, and in some homes, it's where the refrigerator or freezer is placed. It is permissible to walk through a household bathroom while carrying food in order to get to the utility room where the refrigerator is located. You understand what happened? Meaning you have to go through the washroom, and then on the other side of the washroom, that's where the freezer or fridge is. So you don't have a choice. You have to go through. This is true even if there's a toilet bowl in the bathroom. The reason it leaves is the bathroom is designated to be a passageway to the utility room and is never meant to be exclusively for baths. Meaning, since it also became a, how do you call this? Like a passageway, like a hallway. So therefore, it's permitted. When space restrictions make this necessary, one may practice according to this leniency. Right, in the previous footnotes, it was explained that according to Shalom Tzibur, no harmful force contaminates food, which is taken into the restroom, but we avoid bringing the foodstuffs and bedrooms in the restroom. The Yosef rules this stringency applies only to storing food in a room that is used exclusively as a restroom. But the restroom is only a passageway, so then you could be relying upon the Shalom Tzibur. I remember this actually happened in Gibraltar because there was a bedroom that to get to the master bedroom, you had to go through the bathroom. So they said what? Every single time that they go to their bedroom, they have to do it at the time, like somewhere, like, you understand, like, what do they do? No, it became like a hallway in a sense. So therefore, that became the hallway. I don't know why the house was made in such a way, but that's
the primary function of the room is the bathroom.
But it was also the hallway because it was the only way to get to the bedroom. Okay. Number 40, medicines. Many people carry pills in their pockets since they need to take the medicine several times each day. These people, they go to the restroom even while the pills in their pockets, right? So he says this applies to flavored pills, right? So they could go. That means pills is not like food. This applies to flavored pills that are swallowed, right, and not chewed. If the pills are flavored, they have the status of food, and therefore should not be taken into the best restroom, as explained in the previous halacha. 155. The response of Tzitz Eliezer based this leading to the Shalom Tzibur, who maintained, right, that the harmful forces existing in a restroom do not affect foods, as explained in the previous footnote. Furthermore, the pills are sealed in a container, and many poskim rule that are restrooms that are flush clean and after each use, right, do not have the status of a full-fledged restroom. It's the response of Yechavedat. Okay, last one. What about a bathhouse? So it's forbidden to speak words of Torah while in the inner chamber of a public bathhouse, where the people are without clothing and bathing in hot water. In fact, it's forbidden to think about Torah topics while in the inner chamber, and this is the case even if there's no one else there. The room itself has the status of a filthy place, since they bathe there in hot water, okay, equal to a restroom. It's permissible to speak, even in Hebrew, about mundane matters, while in the inner chamber.